Hi guys, Darth Thieves here in the Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch action figure review, and today I'm reviewing a bit of an older Black Series 6-inch figure. It is the Clone Trooper Captain figure from the Black Series. I picked this guy at the comic book store. I paid a little more than retail for this figure. It is a bit older, so not going to be as easy to come across. But yeah, pretty cool. I've been wanting to get more of the Black Series Clone Troopers. I only have Commander Cody and Commander Gree, so it's nice to get one of the Phase 1 troopers. And out of all of them, this is definitely the one I would have liked to get the most, aside from the Commander, but he's not exactly the easiest to get either. But yeah, so let's take a look at the packaging first. So you've got the older blue stripe style packaging. You've got the medallion logo for the character in the corner there. The figure fully displayed in the packaging, and then Star Wars the Black Series with Clone Trooper Captain in multiple languages, because this is the Canadian or international packaging. Nothing on the sides or anything. Flip around the back here. You got a pretty cool image of the Clone Trooper in battle, and what I'm going to assume is Geonosis. And you got the Clone Trooper Captain, and then nothing else, except for some random crap that no one cares about. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Not too much going on with it. So I'm going to crack this guy over, and we'll take a close look at the figure outside of the packaging. Alright, now I got the Clone Captain out of the packaging, and it is a pretty cool figure. It's a straight up repaint of the first released Phase 1 Clone Trooper, which was just white. So this just has added paint apps pretty much. And it is good. I do have some issues, and pretty much my only issues are quality control issues, which does really suck. But they're not too bad, which is good. But yeah, pretty much every Clone Trooper has reused this body in some capacity, if not complete capacity. All the Phase 2 Clone Troopers that aren't commanders, the only thing different about them is their head sculpts are different. And the commanders, Gree and Cody and Rex are all pretty similar. They have some new sculpted parts, but they're all using the same base mold, which is fine. This mold is very serviceable. The sculpt, at least in terms of the sculpt, it looks really good. And just looking at this figure, it does look really good. In terms of sculpt, I think Hasbro really nailed this figure, especially in the head sculpt. I'm a really big fan of the Phase 1 head sculpt. It might be my favorite over the Phase 2. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I really like this helmet sculpt a lot. I wish the black on the visor was a little glossier, but it's not too bad, and I think it still looks pretty good. The mouthpiece looks good. The red is painted pretty well, except for right in the corners there's little pieces of white, but aside from that, it's pretty good. The red fin is pretty good for the most part, and the red around the helmet is sharply and nicely applied. And it just looks really good. I really like the head sculpt. It definitely looks very accurate. Quality looks good. You got the black undersuit underneath, which has some sculpt detail. You got the torso here. The shade of white also on this figure looks good. It's a nice bright white, so that's very nice. You got the 4 red dots to show his rank, which look really good. The arms here, you got the red stripes on the arms here. This communications thing sculpted on his gauntlet there looks really good. Here you also have that. My only issue here with QC is that there's a big chunk of white on the shoulder armor, and I did color it in a bit with some red Sharpie to make it a little less obvious, but you can still see that there's a problem there. I might try to paint that someday, but yeah, that kind of sucks. You got the back here, looks good. You got the sculpted belt with the thermal detonator, and the pouches looks good. The legs look good. There's not really anything going on. They're completely the same as the other one. I'm pretty sure I don't have the standard Phase 1 Clone Trooper though, so I'm not 100% sure. You got some gray paint apps for what I'm assuming is straps on the back of the knee guards, which is pretty cool. And then gray on the bottom of the soles of his feet. And he looks really, really good. I don't really have too many complaints with that. Just the QC issues, the paint kind of sucks. In terms of articulation, he's pretty good in some areas. He has a ball joint in the head, but he pretty much can't look up at all because of the helmet, but he can look down a decent amount. Ball hinges at the shoulders, which move okay, but they don't move out too far because of the shoulder plates, and the shoulder plates don't really go over the armor, so they're not very pliable. They're pretty hard plastics, so you're not going to get like crazy up motion, but you can rotate them around all the way. Double or swivel at the bicep, double hinges at the elbow, which are pretty disappointing considering I can try better than this, but they can go a full 90. But that's pretty much it for the elbow joints, and you can get full 90 with a single hinge. With a double hinge, I would have liked to get them going up way more, so I don't really like that. It's pretty much a wasted opportunity with the double hinge. Kind of sucks. You have ball hinges at the wrists, a ball joint at the torso, which doesn't really crunch or move backwards a whole lot, but you do get some motion there. Ball hinges at the hips, swivels at the bicep or bicep thigh, double hinges in the knees, and hinges at the ankles of the rockers. So he has good articulation. There is some limitation, which does suck, but for the most part, it works really well. In terms of accessories, comes with 2 blasters. You get his carbine here, DC-15 carbine, which doesn't want to focus. It's a nice sculpt. It's the sculpt that's been used with every DC-15 carbine released in the Black Series. But what's interesting is they painted the clip of the carbine gray. So that's kind of cool. They decided to go a little extra mile and paint the magazine of the gun. So that's cool. And it looks good. He holds it well. And then he also comes with a DC-15 rifle, which has also been seen with multiple Clone Trooper figures. It's a nice sculpt. I like the sculpt. It's made of a harder plastic, so you don't want to bend it because it could snap, but it also won't warp on you, which is really good. And again, has a gray paint app on the bottom of canister here, so that's kind of cool. Gives it some little more detail, looks a little better, so that's cool. And he again holds this weapon very well as well. We'll do a quick comparison just with Commander Cody. So here's Commander Cody. And yeah, they look good together. I actually like this Phase 1 Captain better than the Cody figure. The Cody figure is nice, but the weathering that you probably can't really pick up on the camera, but I had to apply all the weathering on this figure myself because I didn't have any weathering. The quality of this figure isn't as good as this one. Like, the Captain has nice solid joints that aren't warping or anything, and they're much tighter. This Clone Commander Cody, his knee joints are wobbly and soft, and they warp really easily. You can't stand up completely straight nicely. You just want to bend over. His head's too small. The Captain's a better quality figure, that's for sure. There's still 2 great figures, and it's cool to display the clones all together. But overall, this is a really nice Black Series 6-inch figure. I wouldn't pay too much for it because it is just a clone with red markings on it. But if you are a Black Series 6-inch collector, and especially if you're a clone collector, I would highly recommend picking this guy up if you don't already have it. If you can get it for a good price. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.